BpsRps live for 622. This is your host BpsRps. I always laugh afterwards. I'm like this show. I'm like my name is now BpsRps. Interesting. I didn't go to City Hall to change it, so there might be some copyright infringements out there. I don't know, but let's hope for the best, right? Let's see. Let's go over today in baseball. Let's see. The Twins are working on a trade for Chris Paddock. The Royals reworked Whit Merrifield's contract. That's awfully nice of them. Brewers got Alex Jackson from the Marlins. He's a catcher, pretty washed up catcher. Padres got Victor Caratini. No, they traded Victor Caratini to the Brewers, who are in need of a catcher. That's really all that happened. I think Jordan Hicks, it was a little surprising. He's going to begin the season in the Cardinals rotation. He was a pretty good reliever. I think he got hurt, but a little surprised that he's starting. But they could stretch him out, see what happens with that. And then today in baseball history, what do we have? Willie Mays homered. The Giants win over the Padres in 1970. First designated hitter in baseball history was today in 1973, Ron Blomberg. This is pretty cool. 1996, Albert Bell showed off his arm by hitting a Sports Illustrated photographer, Tony Tomsick. I don't know if there's any relation to me. Hit him in the hand prior to a game. The angry Indians outfielder told the photographer to stop taking pictures of him during pregame stretches, and he complied. Bell then threw a ball from the outfield that breaks the skin of his hand in two places and draws blood. He drew first blood. So he channeled his inner John Rambo. Or actually Will Teasel, because they drew first blood, not John. Birthdays today. Wow. Kenny Williams, 1964 White Sox outfielder, went on to be their GM, I think. Tommy Green, 1967, former Brave Philly. I think he threw a no-hitter for the Phillies. Brett Boone, 1969. He had that 1 year, hit like 35, 40 home runs for the Mariners. And it's really, Don Johnson died in 2000. I didn't know he played baseball. He was the 80s heartthrob, if you will, from Miami Vice. He also had a pretty good song called Heartbeat. Look it up. Speaking of Heartbeat, these are Upper Deck Series 1. I don't know what year. 1999. Just got to read. Just got to read it. You can learn anything, I guess. The goal here is Mike Perez. There's a part of him, looking at a part of him, looking at a part of him. This is all jizzed up. Upper Deck. Bob Tewksbury. I can barely see the names on these. I see Upper Deck more than the name. It's not a really good kind of individualization, I would say. Bob Tewksbury was just a jobber starter in the 80s, 90s. Eric Hansen, Mariners pitcher. He was like a highly thought of pitching prospect for the Mariners. Never quite worked out. I had 100 of his rookie cards. John Dobson, Red. These are all pitchers. We're getting all kinds of just right-handed jobber pitchers. This switches it up. Bernard Gilkey. He was a pretty good outfielder for the Cardinals. Really good. I think he went to the Mets after. Steve Finley. He was a good outfielder for the Astros, the Diamondbacks. I think he popped 40 home runs 1 year, surprisingly. Kenny Lofton on the Indians. Upe Chi. His hat's covering the advertisement there. So Kenny Lofton's a great outfielder, great leadoff hitter. I think the Braves were big fans of his. Steve Finley, who was a pretty good outfielder for the Astros, the Diamondbacks, popped like 35 home runs, 40 home runs, surprisingly, one year. And we just pulled this card out earlier in the pack. Casey Campbell is a good field no-hit shortstop for the Astros and Expos. Pitchers doing non-pitching things. This is him on the base paths. Dave Hollins. Oh, look at that uniform. I don't know what that is. He was a big member of the '93 Phillies surprising team that won the NL championship. Luis Polonia, jobber. He allegedly did bad things to girls. We don't condone that. Mike Fetters. Second time this week I pulled out a Mike Fetters. I'm kind of upset about that. But that's a pretty cool card. Players blowing bubbles. That goes in the badass binder. Lenny Dykstra, who is banned. Lenny, if you're watching, hit that upper X button and stop watching because you've been banned. Real Cormier, RIP. He was a good guy. He was a good middle reliever. Kevin Brown. That infielder's awfully close to him. I don't know what the hell's going on in that picture. What kind of defensive scheme was that? Maybe it's the box and one. This is Donruss. 92. Series 2. Maybe there's a Kazako in here. We won't know until we open them, of course. These packs are not tampered with, I assure you. I've seen these before. These are pretty cool. I haven't put these in a while. This is Gary Cooper, who played Lou Gehrig, the pride of the Yankees. Lance Blankenship, who never quite worked out for the Oakland A's, turned into a utility man. Mark Leonard, it's Jeffrey Leonard's twin brother. They both played on the Giants. See the resemblance. Jeff Mutis, it's a Raider rookie. Bet Donruss can wish they could take back that snap. Paul McClellan. All right. Joe Carter, who, speaking of the '93 Phillies, who went to the World Series, Joe Carter broke their heart. Hit a game-winning home run. Larry Anderson, my old smoking buddy. I smoked a cigarette with Larry Anderson, Mike Shannon's restaurant in St. Louis. Bruce Ruffin, he had a pretty good rookie year for the Phillies. He had a good, he was a pitcher. I think he had 1-2 good years. Benito Santiago, 87, National League Rookie of the Year. The guy had a cannon. Checklist. Jeff, if you're watching, we know you're a big checklist fan. 2 more Oakland A's. This is like Oakland night. Blankenship, Harris, Reggie Harris, and Carney Lansford, who's a professional hitter, like the bat 300. Mike Humphreys, Jack Armstrong, Steve Lyons. Rough pack. And all right, let's go to Stadium Club. This is high number series 95. It looks like it's 90s night here at the vet. Stadium Club always has those pretty cool photos. Let's see what we get. Charlie Hayes, Philadelphia Philly, a Rocky and Yankee. Pretty solid player. Todd Hollandsworth, former Rookie of the Year with the Dodgers. He's often the one that's forgotten about during their 5 straight years that they won Rookies of the Year. Hollandsworth was one of the 5. Darren Bragg, Mariners. I remember him on, I think, the Reds or Milwaukee. I don't know why I even remember him. Joe Randa. Okay, third baseman for the Royals. Tom Henke on the Cardinals. What the hell's that all about? This just looks so out of place. It's a Blue Jay. It's had to be an error. Transaction, Tony Tarasco, the Expos. These mid-90s teams really throw me off. Extreme Corpse, Joe Carter. It's the night before opening day. It's Joe Carter night here. BpsRps. Oh, this is a nice card. Gary Sheffield Extreme on the Marlins. That's a really nice card. I always like Sheffield on the Marlins cards. Never seen them until the last year. John Wetland on the Yankees is their closer. Lance Parrish on the Blue Jays? Why? How? When? Well, 94, 95, but I have no memory of that either. Frank Rodriguez. I think he was a good closer. I don't know. Final card of the night, it's a Rockies pitcher, which can tell you all about whether this is a good card or not. It's a jobber, Kevin Ritz. Yo, don't tell anybody I said this. It's between us, but these packs suck tonight. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm gonna you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You gotta know when to quit while you're behind. So thank you all for joining. You guys keep watching. I'll keep ripping. Have a good night.